Ignition running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Minot State Professional Communications Department proudly brings to you the Striha Sports Podcast with your host, Parker Striha. Hello and welcome back to the Striha Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Parker Striha, and on today's episode, I'm going to be going over the 10 moves in the NFL that I still want to see this offseason. I'm by no means a professional, but I do love talking about sports, so thank you for joining me. So we're just going to jump right into it. Number one, I have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, safety from the Eagles, signing with the Green Bay Packers. Now, this move obviously wouldn't happen until after a potential Aaron Rodgers trade, just for money reasons, but I think this signing would just make too much sense for Green Bay to not do. He's an elite safety who can also play some corner, and Green Bay really badly needs safety. Get him. You can kind of do whatever you want to do with Darnell Savage, but I think they could give him a good contract that he's looking for, and obviously they're not going to be contenders this year. Obviously, that team is not anywhere near Super Bowl ready this season, or going to be Super Bowl ready this season as of right now. But I think you get him on the roster, that fills a really big hole on that defense, and you could see a potential playoff push next season or even in the future, depending on how Jordan Love develops. Number two, I have Lamar Jackson being traded to the Detroit Lions. Detroit is nearing legit contention, but they need an elite quarterback. Jared Goff is not going to win them a Super Bowl. The NFC wide open this year. Bring in Lamar Jackson. That team instantly becomes one of the contenders in the NFC, and I don't even think it's close. Detroit has the money for Lamar Jackson's contract that he wants, and the compensation that Baltimore would be looking for also. So this trade, I think, would just make sense for both teams. Obviously, Baltimore doesn't want to lose him, but if Lamar is dead set on not going back to Baltimore, I think Detroit, if they don't jump on this, I would be shocked. Another team I could see him going to is the Colts, but I just don't think it makes a lot of sense for him or for the Baltimore Ravens to do that deal. And number three, I have the Kansas City Chiefs signing Taylor Lewan and Will Compton. Now, the Chiefs just signed Jawan Taylor to a 4-year, $80 million deal, but Taylor can play right tackle with no problem. Lewan has stated that if he goes to another team, he wants to be left tackle, and he wants his next team to be a contender. And he can slide right in Kansas City and be an elite left tackle once he's fully healed from his ACL injury that he suffered last season. Lewan and Compton have both stated that they are a package deal, but I'm not really sure how serious that claim is. But I think if you bring in Lewan, there's no reason not to at least bring in Compton. You can cut him before the regular season if you really want to. I don't know. I love them both. I think that'd be a really good move for both of them. And for the Chiefs especially, you get a veteran linebacker, you get a veteran left tackle, and you can really help this Kansas City team stay competitive, even though they're obviously going to be competitive as long as Patrick Mahomes is there. Number four, I have DeAndre Hopkins being traded to the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta does not have a legitimate number one receiver, despite how much I like Drake London. He's not a number one receiver right now. And Atlanta has the money to take on the last 2 years of Hopkins' contract, and this move allows Drake London to be more of a complimentary receiver while learning under DeAndre Hopkins. And DeAndre Hopkins could also dramatically help with the progression of Desmond Ridder or whoever the starting quarterback is going to be for the Falcons. Number five, I have Jerry Jeudy being traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, rumors have come out that Denver is shopping both Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Not really sure how likely either of those moves are, but if you're the Cowboys, I think you jump on Jerry Jeudy. You're probably going to get minimal production from the running back this season due to Tony Pollard's injury, and you really have no proven running back on the team at the moment. I know there's talks that they could draft Bijan Robinson, but I just don't think that's a smart move for them. Fill other holes with that pick, but bring in Jerry Jeudy. If Michael Gallup can stay healthy, that's an elite wide receiver trio that can really make you a scary team in the NFC. And this could be a very big season for them to go all in, a very good season for them to go all in. You just got Stephon Gilmore. The NFC is wide open. Get another weapon on that offense, and you could really be a contender. Number 6, I have Adam Thielen signing with the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Bills need another reliable, relatively cheap receiver alongside Stephon Diggs, and I'm not really sure if Gabe Davis is that guy right now. If you bring in Adam Thielen, it could be his last good shot at a Super Bowl, and he can still be a reliable wide receiver. He can put up stats. He can really help that offense, and he already has chemistry with Stephon Diggs due to time in Minnesota, and I think they would go back to being an elite wide receiver duo with Gabe Davis being an elite third receiver. Number 7, I have Mecole Hardman signing with the Carolina Panthers. Hardman has played in 57 of a possible 66 games in his career, most of those missed games, I believe, if not all of them, coming at the end of last season. But Carolina has no receivers on that team that have shown enough to be a number 1 or even a number 2 receiver. Hardman has been really solid in Kansas City. Granted, how much of that is due to Patrick Mahomes being at quarterback, but Hardman has game-breaking speed that could really help whatever rookie quarterback that the Panthers draft and just their overall offense. Number 8, I have Dalton Schultz signing with the Green Bay Packers. He had career-low numbers in 2022 compared to seasons since he became the starter in 2020. So in those couple years he was a starter, he just had his worst numbers in those couple years last year. Green Bay badly needs a new tight end this season and just in general for the future. He could be a relatively cheap contract depending on what he's actually looking for in just the tight end market. So it could be team friendly for Green Bay. Jordan Love needs a good tight end to throw to. I will always promote getting a good tight end on your team. And I think originally I had them signing Mike Gesicki when I wrote this list down. But right before I started recording this, it was announced that Mike Gesicki signed with the Patriots. And I think Dalton Schultz is he's a good plan B when it comes to that move. Number 9, I have Dalvin Cook being traded to the Atlanta Falcons. The NFC South is wide open this year, so Atlanta may want to go all in with quotation marks this season in hopes of winning the division. They have the money to take on his contract, and he would instantly be the best running back on the team. The trade may not be possible, though, if they do make a move for DeAndre Hopkins, like I stated earlier, but would still be a really good move for the Falcons and for Cook in general, I think. But he has injury history, which may scare Atlanta away. But if it does happen, I think that would be a really good move for both parties. Minnesota frees up money. Atlanta Falcons get their roster better in hopes of potentially winning their division this year. And then at number 10, I have Ryan Tannehill being cut or traded by the Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm not the guy who likes to call for people's jobs, but I just don't think it makes sense for Tennessee to keep him on the roster. He is extremely expensive for a guy that you could be keeping as a mentor. The team is going into a rebuild. They just need to free up money, free up roster spots where they can. It just doesn't make sense for them to be paying Tannehill as much as they are. He has a $17.8 million cap savings if he's cut or traded before June 1st, and that bumps up to $27 million in cap savings if it's a post-June 1st cut or trade. I just think it makes sense for the Titans to do that. I love Ryan Tannehill. I don't like calling for his job, so to say, but I just think the move would make too much sense for the Titans to not do, and I ultimately do think this is probably one of the more likely moves on this entire list to actually happen. But that is all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Peace.